The 1980s didn't just move freight, they built legends. Before touchscreens, sensors, and lane assists, trucks had attitude, noise, and soul. These were machines you wrestled, trusted, and sometimes swore at. Today, we're bringing back 25 vintage 80s trucks every trucker still secretly misses. 1. Kenworth W900B, 1982, late 80s. If trucks had rockstar hair, the W900B would have had a mullet and zero regrets. This was the truck every kid sketched in the margins of a school notebook. Long hood, square shoulders, chrome for days. You didn't drive a W900B. You made an entrance with it. Veteran drivers still laugh about polishing the stacks at truck stops like they were family heirlooms. The ride was stiff, the cab was basic, but that Cummins rumble made you forgive everything. Fuel economy wasn't part of the conversation. Pulling power was. Even now, when one thunders past, everyone glances over. Respect is automatic. That same Kenworth DNA soon went in a completely different direction. 2. Kenworth K100E, mid-late 1980s. The K100E proved cool, didn't need a long nose. This cabover put the driver right on top of the action, engine heat and all. In cities and tight docks, it was unbeatable. You could turn where long hood trucks just prayed. Drivers still joke you could fry eggs on the doghouse after a hard pull. And backing one cleanly into a dock? That was a badge of honor. Miss once, you'd hear about it all week on the CB. It wasn't pretty trucking, but it was real trucking. While cabovers mastered space, another Kenworth was busy rewriting the rulebook. 3. Kenworth T600, 1985 onwards. When the T600 rolled out, drivers laughed first and asked questions later. Looks like an anteater, they said. Then the fuel numbers came in, and suddenly everyone wanted a test drive. This truck was quieter, smoother, and shockingly efficient. Old-school drivers swore they'd never touch one. 2 paychecks later, they were bragging about fuel savings and shorter days. The T600 didn't chase style. It chased efficiency. And in doing so, it quietly changed trucking forever. 4. Peterbilt 359, 1980s holdover legend. The 359 wasn't just a truck, it was a personality test. Long hood, butterfly hood, polished tanks, and more chrome than common sense. If a driver showed up in a clean 359, you already knew 2 things. They loved their truck, and they weren't in a hurry. This thing rode stiff and loud, but that was the point. You felt the road, the load, and the engine doing its thing. Drivers still joke the mirrors alone weighed as much as a small car. Even today, a 359 rumbling by feels like a time machine on wheels. As that classic look peaked, Peterbilt was already planning its next icon. 5. Peterbilt 379, 1987 onwards. The 379 was what happened when Peterbilt said, "Let's not mess this up." It kept the long hood attitude, but sharpened everything. Better cab, better options, same road presence that made four-wheelers back off instantly. Drivers loved how customizable it was. Different sleepers, stacks, paint jobs, lights everywhere. No 2 379s ever looked the same, and owners liked it that way. It became a rolling business card. You didn't just haul freight in a 379. You represented something. And while the 379 carried tradition forward, another Pete took a very different approach. 6. Peterbilt 377, late 1980s. The 377 was Peterbilt dipping a toe into the future without fully letting go of the past. Shorter hood, sloped nose, still unmistakably a Pete. Some drivers loved it. Some needed convincing. What changed minds was the drive. Quieter cab, smoother ride, and noticeably better fuel numbers. It wasn't flashy, but it made sense. Fleet managers smiled. Drivers slowly stopped complaining. It was the sensible choice before sensible was cool. That same practical thinking was spreading across the industry fast. 7. Freightliner FLD, 1987 onwards. The FLD didn't care about looking tough. It cared about getting paid. Arrow nose, lightweight build, and fuel efficiency that made accountants very happy. Drivers noticed the difference at the end of the week. It rode smoother than most old-school rigs, and after long days, that mattered. Some joked it felt more like driving a car than a truck, which wasn't meant as an insult. The FLD proved that comfort and profit could ride in the same cab. But before Arrow ruled the highways, Freightliner had a very different vibe. 8. Freightliner FLC, early, mid-1980s. The FLC was pure square-jaw trucking. Flat windshield, boxy cab, and zero interest in aerodynamics. It looked like it was carved out of a brick, and drivers loved that about it. These trucks were simple, tough, and easy to keep running. If something broke, chances were you could fix it with basic tools and a strong opinion. That reliability built loyalty fast. The FLC didn't chase trends. It survived them. 9. GMC General, 1977 to 1987. The GMC General looked like it should have had a movie trailer voice. Long hood, wide stance, and a grille that felt slightly overconfident. This was GMC swinging hard at the big rig world, and for a while, it worked. Drivers remember the General as honest and a little stubborn. It wasn't the smoothest ride, but it pulled like it meant it. The Detroit diesel scream was unmistakable, especially climbing hills with a full load and zero patience. The cab felt old school even back then, but that added to the charm. You drove it, not the other way around. When GMC bowed out, many drivers quietly wished they hadn't. 10. Mack Superliner, 1980s. The Superliner was Mack turning the toughness dial all the way up. Square hood, massive frame, and the attitude of a truck that didn't care how heavy the load was. If it fit on a trailer, the Superliner would drag it. This was a driver's truck in the purest sense. Loud, heavy steering, and built like it expected abuse. Drivers joked that the truck would outlive them, their kids, and probably the road itself. Comfort wasn't the headline. Durability was. When you saw a Superliner, you knew serious work was happening. 11. Mack R Series, 80s workhorse. The Mack R Series didn't chase fame. It chased miles. Boxy, basic, and everywhere. This truck quietly became the backbone of 1980s hauling. If you worked construction, fuel, or regional freight, odds are you drove one. Drivers loved how predictable it was. No surprises, no drama. Turn the key, do the job, repeat. The Bulldog badge meant something back then, and the R Series earned it daily. It wasn't flashy, but it was trusted. Sometimes the best trucks don't shout. They just show up. 12. International 9000 Series, 1980s. The International 9000 Series felt like a thinking man's truck. Big sleeper options, decent comfort, and engines that just kept working. It didn't demand attention, but it earned respect over long runs. Drivers appreciated the roomy cab, especially on multi-day hauls. You could actually stretch out without feeling like you were camping inside a toolbox. Small luxuries mattered more after day 3. It wasn't the prettiest rig at the truck stop, but it was dependable, and dependability pays the bills. 13. International CO 9670, 1981 onwards. The CO 9670 was International's answer to the cab-over era, and it took the job seriously. Flat face, tall cab, and visibility that made tight docks far less stressful. Cities loved it. Drivers tolerated it. Sitting over the engine meant heat, noise, and zero personal space, but you learned to live with it. The payoff was maneuverability. You could squeeze into places long hood trucks wouldn't dare. It wasn't glamorous, but it was practical. And in the 80s, practical kept you working. 14. Ford L Series, 1980s staple. The Ford L Series, better known as the Louisville line, was everywhere in the 80s. If you hauled freight, fuel, grain, or construction gear, chances are you spent time behind one of these. It wasn't flashy, but it was affordable, tough, and easy to keep alive. Drivers liked how simple it was. No fancy electronics, no attitude. If something broke, a decent mechanic and a long lunch break usually solved it. The cab felt basic, but predictable, which mattered on long shifts. Many fleets ran them hard and replaced them late, which says everything. It wasn't a dream truck, but it paid for plenty of dreams back home. 15. Volvo F10/Volvo F12, 80s Europe icons. The Volvo F10 and F12 were proof Europeans took driver comfort seriously early on. Flat-fronted, efficient, and surprisingly civilized, these trucks felt advanced compared to many rivals of the time. Drivers still talk about the visibility and solid road manners. Long motorway runs felt calmer, quieter, and less tiring. That mattered when borders, paperwork, and bad coffee were part of the job. They weren't loud or dramatic, but they were clever. These trucks didn't shout for attention. They earned respect mile after mile. 16. Volvo F16, 1987 onwards. When the Volvo F16 arrived, everything changed. Big power, big torque, and suddenly European trucking had a muscle truck. Drivers talked about it like a legend in real time. The 16-liter engine pulled like it had something to prove, especially on long climbs. You could feel the confidence through the seat. It wasn't just strong, it was smooth, which made brutal motorway days far less exhausting. Fuel bills went up, smiles went wider. The F16 proved power and comfort could finally share the same cab. 17. Scania 3 Series, 1987 onwards. The Scania 3 Series felt like the cool kid of late 80s trucking. Clean lines, solid build, and engines drivers genuinely trusted. If you drove one, you knew it. If you didn't, you wanted to. Drivers loved the balance. Strong pulling power, stable handling, and a cab that felt carefully thought out. Long European routes felt less punishing, which mattered more than bragging rights. Scania earned loyalty fast in this era. Many drivers never switched brands after this. 18. DAF 95, 1987 onwards. The DAF 95 didn't arrive with drama, but it quickly became a favorite. Spacious cab, comfortable bunks, and a layout clearly designed for living on the road, not just surviving it. Drivers appreciated the room. You could stand, stretch, and actually sleep without folding yourself like luggage. After days away from home, that mattered more than horsepower figures. It wasn't aggressive or flashy. It was sensible, and for many drivers, sensible won the argument. 19. Mercedes-Benz SK, 1989 onwards. The Mercedes SK showed up at the end of the 80s feeling like the future had arrived early. Solid, precise, and unmistakably German. Every switch felt deliberate. Nothing rattled. Drivers noticed how composed it was on long hauls. Stable in bad weather, predictable under load, and built to rack up enormous mileage without complaint. It felt more like a precision tool than a toy. Some said it lacked personality. Others said it had discipline, and that was better. 20. MAN F90, 1986 onwards. The MAN F90 was all about strength without noise. No flash, no gimmicks, just a truck designed by engineers who expected it to work hard every single day. Drivers trusted how planted it felt with heavy loads. Hills didn't faze it, braking felt reassuring, and nothing about it felt rushed or fragile. The cab was practical, not luxurious, but everything made sense. It didn't try to impress. It just kept delivering, day after day. 21. Iveco Turbostar, 1984 onwards. The Turbostar had confidence written all over it. Big cab, bold styling, and engines that made their presence known. In the 80s, this truck turned heads across Europe without even trying. Drivers loved the space. You could stand upright, move around, and actually feel human after a long shift. It felt like a rolling apartment compared to tighter rivals. Some joked it looked fast even parked. Subtlety was never the plan. 22. Western Star 4900, 80s workhorse. The Western Star 4900 was built for drivers who valued strength over shine. Heavy frame, simple layout, and a feeling that it could take punishment without complaint. Drivers respected how solid it felt. No flex, no drama, just metal doing its job. It wasn't soft riding, but when hauling serious weight, confidence mattered more than comfort. You didn't buy one to show off. You bought one to survive hard work. 23. Freightliner cabover, early, mid-1980s. Freightliner cabovers dominated tight routes in the early 80s. Flat face, tall cab, and visibility that made docking far less stressful than long hood trucks. Comfort was optional, everyone knew that. Heat, noise, and cramped space came standard. But maneuverability was unbeatable, and drivers learned to live with the trade-off. They weren't glamorous. They were effective, and effectiveness paid bills. 24. Kenworth W900A, early 1980s holdover. The W900A was the old warrior still working while newer trucks arrived. Flat glass, square lines, and zero interest in changing with the times. Drivers remember it as raw and physical. Heavy clutch, stiff steering, and a cab that made you earn every mile. But once rolling, that long hood felt unstoppable. You didn't just drive a W900A. You wrestled it, and grew attached doing so. 25. GMC Astro 95, early 1980s. The GMC Astro 95 was American cabover attitude at full volume. Flat nose, massive glass, and a seating position that put you right on top of traffic. Drivers joked you could smell brake pads before seeing them. The cab was loud, hot, and compact, but visibility was excellent and tight docks became manageable. Your back might complain, but the job got done. It wasn't comfortable, but in the 80s, getting the job done was everything. If this took you back, hit like, subscribe, and tell us which truck you'd bring back tomorrow. W900, 359, or something we missed. Share your stories below, and don't forget to follow for more trucking legends and road-tested history.